Okay, this week you've got a couple of projects where you use the shell feature, and um, I've got a solid here, a block, and I've put a chamfer on it, and I've got fillets around this edge here that are a radius of 0.125. And when we go to shell something, okay, so here's our command. So we go shell, and we have choices here of are we gonna cut from the inside, or are we gonna cut from the outside? It's kind of a weird thing. Or are we gonna uh, go both from the surface of the object? Okay. On the more, yeah, I pretty much just leave that the way it is. So what you do is you click on the faces that you want to remove. And so I'm going to click on the bottom surface here, and you can see it's pointed to the inside. If I were to change that to the outside, then you can see it. This would be like for making a mold, if you will. It takes your object and adds the material to the outside of the object you've created, and then removes the object. Most of the time, you're going to use inside. And then you specify a thickness. So I'm going to leave it at 1/8 inch thickness. Now let's look at it. Okay, so from the outside you see no change, but on the inside, come on, you can see it copied the chamfer and this large radius fillet. This is a 0.25 radius fillet. And what it does, it's not a 0.25 now, but it's 0.25 plus the additional thickness of the wall. But here it did not bring those fillets and rounds over because the radius is so small. If I were to come back here to the fillet, and let's change it and make it a 0.25 radius fillet, now you can see it brings it on through. Okay, but over here on this side, we just had straight corners, and so it's got straight corners. If I were to add fillets now, let's see what happens. Okay, and we'll make it a 0.25. And I'll go ahead and add one across there too. Okay, so I added them to the outside, but it doesn't do anything to the inside because we've already created the shell. These updated because they were created before the shell. Now, if so let me delete that shell. I'll delete that. Now I have a hole. If I have a hole in my object before I execute the shell command, it will leave a ring around the hole, if you will. So let's go back to shell. And so now you can see how it left. It leaves a ring around the hole. Okay. So let's go back. Show you one more thing here. So if I let's say this is like shelling just the body itself to leave it hollow, but if you need one end done, so let's just play some different things here. If I were to shell out this face, so you can see it shelled the inside of the part, but only removed this face here. I know that's kind of a weird thing to do. Let's go back and do that again. And let's say I want to take out the bottom and one end. And so now you can see how that kind of worked out. So in a nutshell, that's how shell works. So really pretty simple. You just got to think through, about your fillets. Does the inside need to have fillets and rounds? Does it need chamfers on the inside? If so, apply them before you do the shell. If it's only the exterior that needs a fillet or a round, then you do that after you create the shell. And in holes, if you have holes beforehand, it will create a wall around the hole. So that is the shell operation.